Hi everybody, welcome back to Small Caliber Arms Review. I'm Richard, and today we got us a cowboy gun in this little cardboard box. Well, sort of anyways. Alright, I have previously opened this. I'm not a big fan of unboxings, but underneath the flap there you're going to get the owner's manual. You're going to get a lock for a trigger guard, a little warning about lead hazards and stuff, and we're going to have the rifle itself. Now, I said it's sort of a cowboy gun. This is the Rossi Gallery 22. It is a pump action polymer stock and fore-end 22 caliber pump rifle, a gallery gun. Let's take a closer look at it. All right, here it is, the Rossi Gallery 22. We'll go ahead and get these little tags off of here. We won't need those on there while we're shooting them. This is the one that says, read owner's manual before operating. Read manual before use. And I have read through the manual online, and it's the same one that's in the print version. And really, the only thing that worries me about this is the cleaning procedure. All it recommends for cleaning is just clean the bore on it, pretty much. There is an exploded diagram in there, so if you want to take it apart any further, but cleaning instructions, of course, make sure it's unloaded, and then using a cleaning rod with lightly oiled patch, run the rod from the muzzle end of the barrel down towards the breech area, cleaning the chamber using a cleaning swab to remove all debris from the chamber as well as the face of the bolt and breech. That's really all there is. Now this gun is screwed together. Got a couple Phillips screws on either side of it, and it is clear. Like I said, I've opened the box already, so I've already checked it, and it is clear. To open this thing, you have an action lock right here on the front of the trigger guard. So what you'll need to do is push that in, and then watch the hammer there, but push it in, and then you can pull the action back, look in the chamber, make sure there's nothing in there. There is nothing in there. This is a tube-fed magazine on it. A lot of people don't like tube-fed magazines because most of the time when you're opening this thing up, you run the risk of putting your hand in front of the muzzle, and most people don't want to do that. Nobody wants to do that. But just pull the tube up. You'll see the little red follower on the end. That's as far as you need to pull it up. Drop your rounds in there. Of course, you can see which way they go in because of the cutout on there. Drop your rounds in there. It is a 15-round magazine in it. Push your tube back in, turn it till that lug locks in a little notch right there, and then you're ready to chamber one. Of course, closing it won't chamber it. You'll have to rack it again, and then you'll be able to chamber around in there, and then you're ready to shoot. All right, now the Rossi Gallery does have a cross bolt safety on it right there above the trigger, and it also has a half-cocked safety on it too. So you can pull it back just till it clicks, which really isn't halfway, but it's just a short click right there, and there's a safety there also, just kind of like on the bigger, older, more authentic, and it's an authentic firearm, of course, but the older ones had a half-cock safety on them, and that's about the only thing they had. Most of them did not have this type of safety on it. This is your biggest safety right here, and what's between your ears. It does have a fiber optic sight system on it. The rear sight is adjustable for elevation right here at this wheel, and windage right here on the side. Turn it, left or right to move your sight over. The front sight is also a fiber optic sight, and it does have a little hood or a cage around it there to keep it from getting damaged. The sights are plastic, which I'm not a big fan of. Of course, so is the stock and the fore end. They're both plastic too. It does have a 3/8 dovetail on the top of it there. So if you want to mount a scope on there, get you a set of rings to go on there, and you're good to go. Like I said, 18-inch barrel, 15-round magazine. It's pretty much all polymer. Action release, cross bolt safety, half-cock safety. It looks like a pretty good little gun, but I won't know until we get it out on the range. This is brand new for Rossi in their 2020 catalog, and it's a pretty cool little gun. They do also make this in a lever action. When I went to the store there where I picked this one up, he had both of them in stock side by side, and I molded over for a few days, and when I went back, somebody had already bought the lever action, so I got the pump action. And I do like pump action guns. I like the bigger calibers too, but this is a gallery gun. This is a reproduction from a time when you used to be able to go to a carnival and they actually had firearms there, that you could shoot the little ducks or whatever targets they had moving by and win yourself a teddy bear or whatever it was you wanted. But this is a modern version of the gallery gun. All right, now a lot of time the old gallery guns were 22 shorts, 22 longs, and 22 long rifles. A lot of times they were shorts. This one is only chambered in 22 long rifle. So you probably don't want to put shorts in it because, I mean, it's not recommended that you put shorts in it. A lot of times they will function, but we're just going to stick with what it says right on the side of the barrel, which is 22 long rifle. And I got a few rounds of some Winchester Super X 22 long rifle, 40 grain, 1300 feet per second. And of course, I got a trusty box of the old Remington 22 Thunderbolts, just some bulk ammo, high velocity. We don't have to worry about whether or not the rounds are going to cycle it because you cycle it manually with your forearm. So we're going to get this thing out on the range. We'll get it loaded up and we'll take a few shots, maybe over at the saloon, and then take a few shots at the 100-yard and see how it does. All right, guys, we're out here on the range with the Rossi Gallery 22. I've got a couple targets set up there at the 7 and the 15-yard mark. And we're going to go ahead and get 15 rounds of the Winchester out here and load it up. And like I said, all you do is take and twist the tube on there, pull the inner tube back. It does come all the way out, but it's not necessary to pull it all the way out to load it, just till the follower clears the opening for the rounds, and then you can drop them in there. Now, I did already make sure that the barrel is clear. There are no obstructions in it. I went ahead and run a bore snake through it. I prefer, especially in this type of rifle, to run a bore snake through it because then I can pull from the breech up to the muzzle there, and if there is anything in there, instead of pushing it down into the action, I'm actually pulling it out the end of the barrel. And that's the way you really should do them, but this one, it's going to be a little more difficult to do it because you don't have a clear access from the breech to the muzzle, especially if you have one of the brass rods or a fiberglass rod or any kind of cleaning rod to go through there. That's where a bore snake really comes in handy because it's flexible, it's got the little weight on the end, you drop it through there, pull it out the other end, and everything that's inside that barrel should come out the muzzle end of it there. All right, when you got your 15 rounds in there, go ahead and take the tube and push it back down in there. You'll feel the rounds will ride up inside of the tube there, and the spring follower that's behind it will push down on it. This has got a little O-ring at the end of it there, so you might have to push down a little bit harder to get it to latch in there, but it should latch in pretty secure. And then all we got to do is rack one in there and give it a few shots, and I'll see if I can't win a teddy bear or something. All right, I've got my eyes and ears in, and I have not adjusted the sights on this thing, so we're going to take a couple shots at the center target at the 7-yard and see how it does. Now, to get a round in the chamber, take it off safe, go ahead and hit your action lock on the front there to release the action, pull it back, and you got one chambered. Now it is ready to fire. It cocks the hammer when you pull the slide back, and it's ready to go. Now, you don't have to do the action lock for every round. You don't have to do the action lock for every round. It's just the first round that goes in there. Now, the first shot I did actually is pretty darn close to the center of the target there. So let's give it a few more tries. Maybe you do have to do the action lock. Yeah, seems that way. Don't like that. Now the trigger has got kind of a, it's got a pretty good take up on it, and then it's a pretty short pull once you get that take up. The take up is real light. And then the actual trigger pull is pretty short, not too heavy, not too terrible. All right, we're going to go ahead and take a look at that real quick. Like I said, it's only the 7-yard target, but it seems to be shooting pretty darn good if you ask me. I do not like having to unlock the action with every shot. That's just not right. I do own other Rossi pump action gun, the Rossi 92, and I do not have to do that. There is no action lock on it. It's a lever action, sorry, but it is another Rossi anyways. I have a Stevens Model 70. It is another type of gallery gun. It's called the visible loader. There is no action lock on that thing either. But let's go take a look at the target real quick. All right, I wasn't counting when I did it. Looks like I took 8 shots there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. All right there in that little group. And like I said, this is only 7 yards, so it's pretty close up. And if you were at the carnival and you were taking some shots to win you a teddy bear or whatever, that's probably the distance. Actually, the distance might have been a little bit less. I never went to one of those carnivals where they had anything like that. Oh, how times have changed. All right, the 7-yard target seemed to be pretty good. We're going to go ahead and take some shots at the 15-yard target, center target, same one, and we'll see how that does. Like I said, I am not a big fan. Had to take the safety off. I'm not a big fan of having to unlock that every time I want to work the action on it. The 3-dot sight system on it is pretty nice. It's overcast day to day, and it's really highly visible. The little fiber optic 3-dot sight system on it, and like I said, at 7 yards, it's pretty much dead on. Let's give it a try at 15. And that was it. That was my 15 shots there. Glasses are fogging up, but it seems to have done pretty good. Maybe shooting just a little bit high. Of course, I am shooting offhand, so me moving around is going to have a big effect on it. We'll try it in the sled and see how it does. All right, there's my 7 shots. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I got one pretty close to the bullseye there. Like I said, the other ones are a little bit high on there, but shooting offhand is going to have a big effect on it. But really, it doesn't do too bad. It is pretty accurate. Now, we're going to take some more shots at the 15. We'll do this one up here, and we'll put it in the sled, the Caldwell Matrix down there, and see if it does any better. All right, now this time I only put 5 rounds of Remington in it. They're the Thunderbolt, so we're going to get it charged up and give it a few shots at the 15-yard target and see if it does any better. That was a whole lot better shooting there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. They're all within, I'd say, within an inch there. Of course, this isn't 100 yards either, but 15 yards on a rest, it did pretty darn good. And actually, a few times then, I did not hit that action release, and I'm not sure what's going on with that. It worked just fine. Anyways, let's take this thing up to the 100-yard target and shoot the steel target I've got up there and see how it does. I'm not going to be able to hit anything like this at 100 yards. I can't see that far with these little tiny circles there. All right, we're going to get 15 more rounds of the Remington loaded up in there, and we're going to take some shots at the 100-yard target. It should be right over my shoulder there. It's just an AR 500 steel target, and we're not going for any super accuracy on this thing. Just going to make sure we can hit it. Now, if you put a scope on this, like I said, it's got the 3/8 dovetail mount on the top of it. You should be able to drive tacks with it. Not sure about 100 yards, but you can close up for sure. All right, there's the 15 rounds. We'll get one racked in there and see how it does. I did not have to hit the action release for that. All right, we're going to take a couple shots using the Hydra sled first, just to make sure I can hit it. Then we'll do some offhand stuff. It's a hit. Didn't have to hit the action release that time either. That's another hit. Does pretty good. It's pretty accurate. The sights are right about dead on. All right, let's do some offhand stuff here. There we go. All right, that's it. I did not have to use the action release on it at all. Maybe it's just a little stiff. It was a brand new gun. You saw the very first shots I took with it. Sometimes a little cycling of the action on the firearm loosens things up a little bit, and it seems to be functioning just like it should now, so I'm pretty happy with it. It's a gallery gun. It's not meant for super long distances, and unless you put a scope on it, you'll probably be okay. Other than that, it functions like it should, and it's kind of fun. Now, it's not the cheapest 22 you can get out there. I think I paid, the MSRP on it's about $305, somewhere around there if you get on Rossi's website. I paid like $275 for it, or $279, somewhere around there. It's going to be a lot cheaper than if you find one of the old, like the Winchester 62As. Those are the true gallery guns, the ones that were actually used in some of the shooting galleries in the carnivals. Those are going to run you anywhere from $700 to, I've seen them as high as $2,000 for some of those guns. And a lot of those are going to be chambered in short only, or you may find some that are short longs and long rifles. This one is only chambered in 22 long rifle, and it functions pretty darn good if you ask me. I didn't win any teddy bears, but it's won a little bit of my respect anyways, especially since it's loosened up now and it's actually functioning like it should. I kind of like it. All right guys, there it is. It is the Rossi Gallery 22. It's a pretty cool gun. It's not really a cowboy gun, but it is modeled after guns that were manufactured in the late 1800s, 1890s, somewhere around there. And it's functional and it's fun, and I wish they would have made it where it would handle 22 shorts, because to me 22 shorts are where most of the fun is at. They're quiet, they're easy shooting, they're just a relaxing fun round anyways. But 22 long rifle is more popular, and it's more available. Check local pandemics, but pretty good little gun. Anyways, thanks for watching Small Caliber Arms Review. Check out my Patreon link down in the description below. Hit this button up here to check out some of my other videos, and hit this button right here to subscribe if you haven't already. And thanks for taking a look at the Rossi Gallery 22 with me, and thanks for watching Small Caliber Arms Review.